you've worked to, I guess, help with your sister's breast cancer diagnosis by going into the media. How do you think media can play a part, not only in Australia, but also in international health issues for women?
Heavens.
It's a big question.
It's a bloody big question. I said to Steph, why am I on the health panel?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about health. All I know is I'm a woman and I'm relatively healthy. It's about as much as I know about health. Or look, all I can tell you is what was my experience.
Your experience,
and what
yes.
I did. I can't really comment on international media.
But your experience through doing...
Look, my experience really was a very personal one. I was, as I'm sure any number of you have been, touched by breast cancer in my family, with my younger sister. And I guess as a creative person you feel, or I do, often feel fairly helpless to do anything that can really make a difference. But this event in our lives really was so close to my heart that for the first time in my creative life I felt inspired and really driven to do something that might make a difference. And so I created a musical about breasts. But you know what? It started out as an idea to raise awareness around the issues of breast cancer, but it became very much more than that. And I almost feel like I should have been on the family panel, because Breast Wishes is not just about breasts, it was about family as well, and about our connectedness to one another, but also as women, really about how we feel about ourselves and our bodies, and how we feel about ourselves and our bodies and our satisfaction with our bodies and our body image. I mean, I don't know a woman that doesn't want to change something about her body, and that becomes a health issue. I think when you don't find a way to accept and love your body and the miraculous thing that it is. And even when it becomes, diseased, like with something like breast cancer, that such a huge part of it, and such a huge part, I think, of the message of the show that we ended up creating, is about acceptance of our bodies as women and of each other in that sisterhood, and it's about family and connectedness. And I think the more connected you feel to your community and your family in whatever guise it takes, that sense of connectedness is deeply connected to your well-being and your health.
So how did people respond to the musical, knowing where it came from, and I haven't seen it, but how did people respond?
Often they didn't really necessarily know where it came from. It's a very funny show, actually. It's not about breast cancer. I mean, that wouldn't be very funny. But it does touch on that. It follows the lives of these particular women in a family and their journey. And it's a celebration of breasts in all their glorious shapes and sizes. And it loosely follows the lives of these women and their breasts throughout a lifetime. So from the first bra fitting to, fondling of breasts as sexual things, and breastfeeding and gravity. I did that bit. Yeah. There's not much fun about gravity. So what came out of it, I think, as we travelled around the country, and is that women delighted in then telling their stories. So after the show, the foyer would be full of women telling their story of their first bra fitting, or how they felt about the fact that their breasts weren't big enough, or were too big, or all of the things. And so it inspired women to share their stories. And of course, there were many women that had been, because breast cancer is dealt with in the show in a really, I think, a really beautiful way. There were obviously many women who had been touched by breast cancer that wanted to tell their stories as well. I mean, so many extraordinary women who were survivors, or people who had lost loved ones to the disease. And I think its greatest, what I'm most proud of about the show was that it allowed a forum where people could share their stories and their and feel a connection with one another and with us as those storytellers.
And I think it's something that I think we've been trying to do here with Women Say Something, is to allow, to find a place where we can all feel comfortable to tell our stories, to talk about the things that affect us, and feel safe to do that, and to have comedy, but also pathos, and also face the hard things as well as celebrate the good things.
Yeah. And there were good songs too. The opening number was "Let's Not Talk About Vaginas," which was a very funny song. Gretel saw the first outing of the show, and it was a little play on the vagina monologues because it was a show about boobs. It said something about don't go there, it's over down there, who cares? They took it too far, we're moving the party upstairs.
That's good. Is it still running?
Well, hopefully it will run again. It did a huge tour last year, so
okay.
it's resting at the moment.
Resting.